Good afternoon, Eric Jones of Thunder Mountain Gold. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Eric, we're curious. What is your story in a nutshell?
Yeah, so our company, Christine, is a 90-year-old company based here in the Western United States in Idaho. We're in the critical minerals exploration space. We've been doing that almost exclusively since the beginning of the company. We're the third oldest mining and exploration company in Idaho, actively engaged in doing that. So our focus really is on critical minerals: silver, lead, zinc, gold, silver, copper. Our company is named after a historic mining district in central Idaho called Thunder Mountain. And in 2005, the company made the decision to sell that resource, which was about 500,000 ounces of gold. And we sold it to the federal government here in the US, and we donated thousands of acres to conservation because of its location. It was in sensitive areas in central Idaho, near wilderness areas. And we felt that it was best to make that land a conservation easement for hunters and fishermen and sportsmen. And we moved on. We felt that it wasn't a place that we should be developing minerals. So we did that. We made the decision. It wasn't a popular one within our industry, but it was the right thing to do from a corporate standpoint. And so we left central Idaho and we went out exploring and found other properties in southern Idaho and in Nevada. And Nevada's really hot right now with gold and other minerals. Nevada's maybe one of the biggest, highest jurisdictions in the world for gold extraction. And so we put our attention there.
I can hear a lot of experience your company is having. Could you dive a little bit deeper into what the company is doing?
Yeah. So what we're focused on is developing, as I mentioned, critical minerals at our main property, which is called South Mountain. And the main metals there are silver, zinc, gold, copper, and lead. And we're doing that in fashion that doesn't create a large footprint on the surface. We're underground. We're exploring these high-grade veins or chimneys that are underground, that are mineable. And we're advancing our project with a careful eye towards risk, capital management, as we move it up what's called the Lassonde curve in our industry. Okay? The Lassonde curve basically maps how projects start from grassroots green exploration all the way to production of the minerals or metals. And it maps the time and the capital required and the value of the company as it moves up that curve. Fairly typical in our industry.
And now I have an interesting question for you, because you know I'm in AI, but how do you see the AI wave shaping the commodity industry?
You know, typically mining companies are early adopters of technology, right? In this case, though, with AI, I think it's taken our industry a little bit longer to grasp how we were going to use it. But how I see it taking shape is in allowing us to take fairly large, complicated data sets from whether it's geochemical or geophysical or satellite geology, and being able to blend that very seamlessly and integrate all those data sets into a manner in which we can understand what we're looking at. Largely what we look for is underground. It's buried from hundreds to several thousands of meters deep, right? It's not necessarily visible on the surface. And so using those data sets and those techniques coupled with AI will help us very quickly assimilate data and understand it.
So you believe AI will benefit the industry and make you grow your company faster?
Absolutely. I think it will. If it's used in the right way, it can really give us an advantage. Absolutely.
And besides AI, you have so much experience. Could you explain your advice on how to grow a company in the best and fastest way?
For a company in our space, the best way to grow it quickly and add value the fastest is really to start with a good asset. Okay. So you've got to, before you ever start putting money into the ground, you've really got to know what you're looking for and where you are in the world. Okay. That's important. And then from there, understand risk and how to deploy capital so that you're adding value in an incremental fashion that brings in additional investment capital. You can also keep moving. And as I said, moving up that Lassonde curve for production. You've got to understand very quickly if it's prudent to continue with your exploration or to move on to another property. You got to make those decisions fairly quickly. But to manage your capital is the way to add value very quickly and know how to do that.
That's very wise advice. Do you have any last advice for the audience?
Yeah, if you're interested in the minerals industry or the critical minerals space, pay attention to companies who have good management, experienced management, and good properties. Are they qualified properties? And a qualified property will have what's called NI 43-101 filed on it. In Canada, there's an equivalent for Australia and Europe. In the US, it's called SK 1300. And qualified good properties will have those reports filed for the public's consumption.
That's wise. Thank you for your words, Eric. Great to have you here in the podcast studio.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure talking with you.